Heavenlygiftchild healthcare platform. If you are seeing my face for the first time, my name is Ayanwola Boluwatife, and I talk about everything about the health of your child, everything that you need to know about raising a healthy baby and the baby. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Thank you for believing in this channel. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. You know, we are just starting, and then you're watching our videos, you're liking, you're commenting, and then you subscribe. I do not take this stuff for granted. Believe me, I do not take this stuff for granted. Thank you so much, and welcome back once again. Thank you so much, and welcome back once again. Hi everyone, you're welcome back. Welcome back to the channel once again. It's so good to be here. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for liking. Thank you for comments. Thank you for sharing. We are grateful. Yeah. Today we are talking about the brain development of a child of 12 months, a child of 1 year old, and that is the continuation of our teaching on the brain development of a child. We've talked about 3 months, we've talked about 6 months, we've talked about 9 months, and here we are today talking about the brain development of a child of 12 months. If you would ask me, I would say that there is no much difference in what we talked about in the brain development of a child of 9 months. However, I would say that a child of 1 year old is more matured than a child of 9 months. Yeah. Talking about the brain development of a child of 1 year old, today we want to look at some basic things. A child of 1 year old should be able to move. I mean the physical and motor development. So a child of 1 year old should be able to pull up objects, just like we said just like we mentioned for a child of 9 months. But a child of 1 year old should be able to walk around with objects. Understand what I'm saying? You know, for a child of 9 months, it is normal for a child of 9 months to just stand with the help of furniture or walkers or anything around, right? But for a child of 1 year, a child of 12 months should be able to walk around with supports in the house. Now, another important thing about movement for a child of 12 months is that a child of 12 months should be able to sit down comfortably without support. I mean, what I'm saying is, if you have a child of 12 months, when that child of 12 months is standing up with objects. The child should be able to sit down by himself without anybody helping him to sit down. So if your child of 12 months cannot sit down by himself without support, I think it is alarming. Monitoring the brain development of a child of 12 months, I strongly want to advise that parents look at how well their children can think. Ability for a child of 12 months to put objects in one container or the other. Ability of a 12-month-old baby to use objects correctly, like your cup. You should know, a child of 12 months should know that you will use your cup to drink water. A child of 12 months should know that the spoon is for eating. All these basic things are what a child of 12 months should be able to do. And another thing I want parents to look out for is ability for the child of 12 months to follow instructions. Simple instructions like pick up your book, pick up the cup, simple things, and then the child would get it. Now, ability for the child of 12 months to explore the house. Explore the house. The ability of a child of 12 months to do things without help is very important. You would just see that your child of 12 months just finish eating and then the child carries water from the eye table. So these are the things that parents need to look out for. And I want to say that it is not everything that you should overlook. If your child is not doing it, please let's begin to teach them how to do all these basic things. Teach them. Carry your water, drink your water by yourself, and I believe that when you are beginning to do all those things, the brain of your child will develop very well. Now, another thing I need to talk about the brain development of a child of 12 months is that a child of 12 months should begin to stand alone. Stand alone, and then children develop at their own pace. I've been saying it ever since we started this series that children develop at their own pace. So a child of 12 months can begin to stand on its own, and after like few minutes the child can later fall down. It's still normal, their brain is still developing. So talking about movements and physical development, this child of 12 months should have been matured in the moving around with objects, sitting down, coming to sitting position without support by himself, beginning to stand up. And in fact, a child of 12 months in some cases will begin to walk around without support. You understand? However, if your child of 12 months is not walking without support by himself, I think you should not stress that child. It's just stages. The child would walk when the child is ready. But these are just the basic things that we need to look out for in the movement. Now we want to talk about talking. Communication and language development. A child of 12 months should begin to say people's name. If not everybody, at least one name. The child would have a sibling, a neighbor. In fact, in the part of the country that I am, if the child is the first child and the child is only around both parents, you would hear the child begin to call the pet names that the parents are calling each other. You would hear the child begin to say babe. At least that is what the child is hearing the parents say. So That shows that the brain of the child is developing. And me, as a child health advocate, I would not say that you should in fact, I wouldn't tell you to shut the child up. Please let the child continue to say the babe, because that is what the child is hearing from the parent. No offense, a child of 12 months should begin to pick words, just like I said in 9 months. I'm so intentional about children picking words. Their talking stage is very important to me. I mean, very, very important to me. And that is the reason why I used to recommend that parents should begin to communicate to their children as early as the child came to life. Begin to talk to them so that their brain would develop to the extent that they would know that they would also have to respond. Another important thing about communication and language development for a child of 12 months is that they begin to respond to simple requests. Do you want the rice? Do you want to eat? The child will say, the child will shake his head. That is for you to know that yes, my baby's brain is developing properly. So your child of 12 months should be able to respond to simple requests. It's very important. So if you have a child that you will just say eat, and your child will not just give any response, your child will just be there, pam. I think it is alarming. Your child should be able to say, I don't want water. Like they would begin to give sign language, even if they can't say it. They will begin to give sign language, because sign language is also a means of communication. I'm not saying they would say too much word. They would begin to try simple words, speak names around. I said it in the brain development of a child of 9 months, that they will begin to pick 1 syllable word, 2 syllable words, and all those words like that. They'll begin to say dada, mama, words that they can see around. They'll begin to pick it, because a child, like, I feel like when the child clocks 1 like this, the child is just climbing a milestone. So we need to start monitoring. We need to start paying attention to all these things. Your child cannot reject water. Your child cannot reject the food. Your child cannot say, like, I want to eat. You are trying to give your baby food and your child is not opening the mouth. I mean, we need to look out that as soon as possible. So now, monitoring the brain development of a child of 12 months, it is very important that we monitor the social and emotional development of that child, because your child of 12 months, just like I said, should be able to prefer people, preference. I already said it, that starting from 9 months, your child is entering the stage of recognition already. So, and that is social and emotional development. Your child should begin to have intimacy with some people. Your child should be excited with one person than another person. So that is to show that the child is developing very well. Your child should be shy around strangers. However, some children are not like that. But then it's just normal that your child is shy around a strange person. Another important thing is your child should prefer cartoons, should prefer toys, should begin to show interest in things like that. And another interesting thing about a child of 12 months is they would begin to enjoy some games like peekaboo. Yeah, your child should begin to show interest in some games. That is to show that your child is developing very well. And again, another important thing is your child will begin to might not obey instructions that you give, because they are beginning to become aware of themselves. gradually. And then this is, I pray the Lord grant every parent's wisdom to raise their children properly, and then God would give you the right ideas to raise your own particular child, in the name of Jesus. Thank you so much for watching the video today. God bless you. If you have watched this video up to this moment, I want to encourage you to please subscribe to the channel, like our content, please share with your family and friends. Please share with your family and friends, because we all need to learn one thing or the other. Thank you so much, and God bless you. See you in our next video.